Hey, have you ever thought about starting your own podcast? When CJ and I were trying to get this podcast off the ground, I had a lot of questions. How do I record an episode? How do I get my show into all the apps that people like to listen to? How do I make money from my podcast? The answer to every one of these questions is really simple. Anchor. Anchor is a one-stop shop for recording, hosting, and distributing your podcast. Best of all, it's 100% free and ridiculously easy to use too. And now Anchor can match you with great sponsors who want to advertise on your podcast. That means you can get paid to podcast right away. In fact, that's what I'm doing right now by reading this ad. We use Anchor because we live over an hour away and it brings us together as if we're in the same room. The sound quality is better than Skype and more reliable too. So if you've always wanted to start a podcast and make money doing so, go to anchor.fm/start. That's anchor.fm/start to join us and the diverse community of podcasters already using Anchor. That's anchor.fm/start. We can't wait to hear your podcast.
We will not be held responsible for any hearing impairments or damage caused to you from excessive exposure to this sound.
Hey CJ, remember that one time?
Oh yeah, it was fucking epic.
You're listening to
Remember That One Time.
the Inappropriate Storytime Podcast.
And these are not your mama's fairy tales.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, this is Remember That One Time, take 3, with your hosts, Chris
And CJ.
And today we are going to talk about Nashville tourists. It is a subject that is becoming, depending on which way you're looking at it, near and dear or a thorn in your side, because I don't know the exact statistics and I suck with numbers, but let's just say there are like 600 families per week moving into downtown Nashville from other big cities that are like, oh, Nashville's so quaint and charming, and I'm going to be a country singer, and I'm going to move to Nashville, and we're going to hang out with Jason Aldean all day. And yeah. So people are like bum rushing fucking Nashville, and they've all got like man buns, and they're all moving into Germantown, which is like hipster central. All of them, it's turning into Seattle, but way more populated.
Yeah.
And each of them are bringing at least 2 cars. So now our traffic is just as bad, if not worse, than Atlanta. And it's just becoming insane. Well, those are the new Nashville natives. So I went on a tangent. But this is going to be the tourists, which are what these people usually start out as. And then they're like, oh my God, I had so much fun at Michaela's bachelorette party. I think I'm going to live here forever.
Right?
Yeah.
It's usually exactly how it goes.
Exactly. You get the woo girls. And
yes. It all starts with someone's Nash bash.
exactly. Everyone decides, let's get Nashty, and then it's all over from there.
Yep.
Because that's one of the big Nashville tourist things is we are now, is it number 1 or number 2? I think we're right behind Vegas.
I mean, I don't know like who is in charge of like this statistic or this poll, but like, yeah, it's getting pretty big as far as bachelor party destinations. Like last summer we were on the Duck River and we were just, kayaking, just having a good time. And there's this group of girls that are like floating behind us, and they've got these like super, super heavy like Boston accents. And I was just kind of like, kind of
You a long way from home.
Yeah. I was like, why are you on the Duck River in Chapel Hill, Tennessee, when you sound like you're from the Jersey Shore? And they were like, oh my God, Nashville is the new Vegas. I was like, is it?
Yeah, that's
yeah. They were like, oh my God, everybody back home is talking about this place. This is like the number 1 destination for bachelorettes. So here we are.
Nash Vegas, like, y'all.
Oh my God. They're infiltrating.
Yeah, that's the exact word for it. We are being infiltrated. Like, yes. I remember back in the day, you could go downtown. You'd have a place to park. It wasn't going to cost you $48 to park. you can walk Broadway and actually like fit into a bar. But now it's like I said, I legitimately paid $36 for 1 hour parking across from Tootsie's.
Yep. And remember what happened when we went inside Tootsie's at
Yeah,
like,
we couldn't
11
breathe.
a.m. on a Saturday? Like, it's not like prime time for partying. Like,
Right.
just during the day, like it's light outside. People are still having brunch at the pancake pantry. And we're in Tootsie's, literally cannot move. Standing room only, like
Oh
just
yeah. I'm
shoulder
pretty
to
sure three
shoulder.
people got pregnant.
Yeah, like not even any room to dance, like no personal bubble at all. Like
Nope.
everybody is all up in your business.
Yep. Drinks are being spilled everywhere. Everybody like it is the perfect sales pitch place for deodorant because everyone has their beer in their hand straight up so that
Yep.
they don't spill it.
Yep.
It's insane. So if you don't
Yeah.
like the smell of armpits or possibly getting an STD with not even like knowing that genitals were around you, stay
Right.
out of Tootsie's.
Yeah. Good lord. It was crazy.
Yeah, and you would think that they would stick to the like uber popular ridiculous things, but no, they're everywhere.
Yeah.
Every
Literally.
nook
I
and
mean,
cranny, nook and
crowning.
yeah, every nook and crown and jack, crown and
Yes.
coke.
Yes. I like it.
Yeah, so they're pretty much everywhere. My stories, I'm just going to go ahead and get my stories out of the way because I avoid that. I mean, I've been known to call it Nastyville just because it used to be kind of run down before the whole hipster thing hit really hard. There was a lot of like homeless people peeing in elevators of the parking garages.
Yeah, that still happens.
Yeah, a little bit. There's been a lot less panhandling.
Yeah.
Now it's all like the kind of people that you would see trying to get discovered. They're all busking. Like you'd see it on on the streets of Asheville, North Carolina, but not as cool
Yeah.
because of course everybody comes to Nashville so they could be the next Taylor Swift, and it's just
We don't
it's
need any more of
not.
that bitch.
Oh yeah, I mean, you can take that shit and run.
Right?
Um, and she's actually homegrown right from here, so I don't know why people get the idea to whatever. Um, so yeah, I pretty much avoid that place at all costs. The only time I ever go down there is when CJ drags me for some sort of event, or if I'm going to eat Joe's Crab Shack, which
Yes.
which tends to happen. That one isn't usually as ran over by tourists unless
Right.
you go at a certain time. If it's like Friday night at anywhere between 6 and 11, then go ahead and kiss that goodbye.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, you're gonna be waiting for like 3 hours to eat some
Exactly.
crab legs.
Right. Or sometimes I'll go to Nashville for like a staycation and hit like the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame or the Parthenon, some stuff like that, but that's usually like 11 a.m. on a Sunday. So
Yeah,
I don't usually go downtown to bars to party at 2 a.m. Friday night. Like that's
that's
just
true. Although when
not
we
my thing.
went to Big
Yeah.
Rocks, Kid Rock's big ass honky tonk, that was pretty cool.
That was a whole other scenario. Did we cover that in another episode?
I think we did.
I think
Maybe.
so. I don't know. We
Perhaps we should
can,
tell the story again
as I
about
say, we
how
can allude to it at least.
yeah,
So
about how we snuck in on someone else's blind date just to make sure that, they weren't going to get killed, and we just kind of
right, everything
creepily
was on the
lurked
up
in the
and up.
background.
Oh yeah, we went like full CIA sunglasses, talking into our watches that were just totally regular watches.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean nobody got killed, so
No, and it was just every we kept missing everybody. So where are you? Well, I'm here. Okay, well I'll go here. And then it was, oh well, this place was closing, so I went here. And okay, well we're here now. Where are you? And I'm like, oh my god, if this person was going to get murdered, we would be so bad at saving them.
Right. We can't even
because
like manage to be on the same street at the same time.
right, they would have been dead in Printer's Alley by now.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And that's another place. Printer's Alley used to be like, my dad would always tell me, like, stay away from Printer's Alley. That's where prostitutes and drug deals and stabbings
Strippers and
and shit.
cocaine.
Exactly. That's where all that happens. And so, of course, being like 21, I was like, first thing I'm going to do is hit up Printer's Alley because I want strippers and cocaine. Why not?
Right.
And then, so sadly disappointed. Apparently, he was talking about Printer's Alley in the 70s. And Printer's
Yeah.
Alley now is like blues clubs and
Yeah. The brass stables.
yeah.
Like this little tiny dive bar that's like kind of, it's like a basement. Like you walk in the door and then you go downstairs.
Yeah,
I
there's
think
a
it's
lot
called
of that.
Kelly's.
Kelly's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was the first place I ever sang karaoke.
Well, that's exciting. I think my first place was Graham Central Station.
I remember, and you sang Mary Chapin Carpenter, and
I
it was
did.
awesome.
And that is the first of two whole times I've sang karaoke. Because the second, you were there too. Why are you always there for these?
Because I do karaoke. It's my thing.
I guess. The second one was at shit, what's it called? Coconut Bay Cafe there in the borough.
Yes.
That was the night that my ex-husband got sloshed and then cried to you to tell you that like some girl touched his butt and that he was scared I was going to leave him or something.
Yeah, I remember. I still have it on video.
Oh Jesus, you need to send that to me. We'll put that on the website.
Yes.
Um
No, I think he actually said it directly to you.
it might have
He
been
was looking straight at you and he was like, "Don't tell my wife."
nice. Idiot. Yeah, he got trashed and tried to sing karaoke and I don't remember what I sang, but that's the only other time I did karaoke.
Yeah.
Not that I'm opposed, I'm just never in a situation to sing to strangers.
Right. Because you don't go downtown at 2 a.m.
Exactly, because this is not my scene. Well, one time I did try to go downtown for a big event. We went to, I think it was just me and my ex. We went to see the fireworks for the 4th of July.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they still do the CMAs kind of around the same time. Because it's the
Yeah, I think so. Sort
dumbest
of.
thing in the world. Because, I mean, why have that many people there for fireworks plus the CMAs? But we were going to park because we're cheap and instead of paying for it, we were just going to park on the roof of Commerce Street Garage and watch the fireworks from like the roof of our car.
There you go.
But in order to get there, it took us 3 hours to get through downtown traffic because there were so many tourists on foot.
Mm-hmm.
And we were just sitting at Broadway and Fifth, and this guy, like little bitty short Chinese dude, barely speaks English, came rushing our car, and I was like, "This is it. This is how I die." And this is the saddest way to go. And I don't know what he's going to do to me because he doesn't look like he can do much. Maybe he'll bite. I don't know. So he's like banging on my window to have me roll it down. So, like, super hesitantly, I start rolling it down, and he was like, "You Dolly Parton, you Dolly Parton." And I'm like, "No, no,
Oh
my
my
dude,
God.
I'm very much not." And granted, I was in a pretty low cut tank top, and I do have huge tits.
You're
And
like, I
my
just got tits for days.
exactly, and my hair, I usually keep it like white bleached. And so I guess I can see where he saw things. And God bless, if I looked like Dolly, I would be out every day flaunting everything because that woman is a national treasure and I love her to
Right.
death.
I
But
mean, see, that's the thing that everyone on this planet has in common, whether you're from the South or not, whether you like country music or not, whether you even really know who she is or not. Like, she whooped Jolene's ass. Like, that's all that
yeah,
matters.
oh yeah, that and she's freaking hilarious. I don't know if you've seen, she was on like Jimmy Fallon or something recently, and she was talking about the movie she did recently with Jennifer Aniston in it.
I haven't
Um,
seen that one.
yeah, it's called Dumplin'. Um,
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, so she was talking about that, and she said that her husband was on the set most of all the days that they were there because he was like ogling, or however you pronounce that, drooling over Jennifer Aniston.
Oh my
And
God.
Dolly's up here on this talk show, and she's like, "Yeah, my husband, he be wanting a three-way with me and Jennifer Aniston," and I'm like, "Oh my God, woman,
Oh,
you were
I
in your
did read
70s."
that. I didn't see the episode, but I read it somewhere. I remember
It's absolutely hilarious. And then she's like, "Well, he can't even get it up to pee," and I'm like, "Girl, stop."
Oh my God, I didn't know she went that far. Damn.
Oh, she's amazing. So yeah.
But I
Anyways,
mean, at the same time, like as a dude, like if you have Dolly Parton, like I mean, I love Jennifer Aniston and everything, but if you got Dolly Parton, why you want
right,
Jennifer Aniston? Like,
exactly.
I don't know.
Dolly
Maybe
Parton is worth at least two gens
right.
for sure. But
Exactly.
yeah, so that happened. Little Chinese dude thought I was Dolly Parton. He was sadly
Bless him.
mistaken. I know. I just
You
kind of
should have
like
just gone
awkward.
on with it.
I know, right? If I were at this age that I am now, I totally would have gone on with it. But back then, I was just kind of a little more meek.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there was that. And quite a few years before then, there was the night that I don't know why we were in Nashville. It might have been the night you got engaged the first time
The
to
first
Skinny
time.
Dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, at Wild Horse.
Which
Um,
was actually technically the second time, but it was only, yeah, it was,
yeah.
yeah.
The first one you accepted.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
There's been a
It's-
lot of false engagements in my life.
Yeah, you're as bad as Lorelai Gilmore. It's ridiculous. Um, I know you don't know what that means, but maybe some
No,
of
I
our
don't.
listeners do. She just has the character on the show has got a really bad habit of having like ridiculous relationships where they'll get all the way to engagement and then she does something to fuck it up, and like it's just so frustrating. So, yeah, she reminds me a lot of you.
Wow.
But um yeah, so we were there, I guess, for that reason. We spent a lot of time at Graham. I don't remember exactly where else. There
Wild Horse,
was,
because that's where I got engaged.
yeah, I mean, other than Wild Horse. Was it the top floor of Wild Horse or the top floor of Graham where we were at when I made the bargain with.
Oh, yeah. When you took the shot out of my tits, or
No,
whatever. Or no, I
I
took
let
the shot out
your
of your tits. I don't
no,
know.
it was I let your brand new fiance do a body shot.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that was Graham.
Yeah, that was at the top of Graham. Everyone was like, "Oh, come on, let's stay longer." And I'm like, "Dude, I want out of here. What do I have to do to let me go home?" I started like begging. I was making bets with people like, "Let me go home." And so finally her brand new fiance is like, "All right, fine. Whip out those big tits. I want body shots." So I'm like, he's got a lick on the neck, he's got a body shot in the tits. Cool, whatever. Let's get it done. Let's do it. I want to go home.
We did
So,
this in the stairwell. Like it
was it
wasn't
in
even
this?
at the. Yeah, I remember because it was at, they had the stairwell that like with
Oh
the
yeah, the carpeted
yeah, the
awful
window that
stairs.
looked out to the street, because we were on that landing right in front of the window, and we just
That's
like
right.
stopped. There's like all these people behind us, all these people in front of us trying to go up to the next floor, and we just
Right.
stopped and we're like, "Hey, this looks like a great place to pull out your tits and
Right.
do a body shot."
Seems legit. I
Yeah.
honestly, my memory tells me that we were too young to be doing shots, but I guess not.
We were,
Okay. How did we get our hands on shots?
because I'm a genius and I brought a baggie full of alcohol soaked gauze, and I scrubbed
What
the I
even?
scrubbed the X's off of our hands, and then we went back to the front door and found somebody that had the over 21 stamp that had just come in, and the
Mhm.
stamp was still wet, and we squashed our hand up against theirs to get the over 21 stamp.
Okay. See, when you said I was smart and I brought alcohol soaked gauze, I thought you were going to say that you just like squeezed it into shot glasses and we
No.
drank pure rubbing alcohol that night, because that would have been so much of
No.
a better story.
No.
We were that desperate as children to get our
Yikes.
buzz on.
And yeah, no, I'm pretty sure that'll kill you.
I'm pretty sure,
Let's
yeah.
yeah, let's not do that.
No, I mean, you think Everclear is going to fuck you up, but that is nothing compared to rubbing alcohol.
Yeah. Ooh. Yikes.
Yeah, so those are really my only two stories. 'Cause like I said, I don't go there other than I think the last time I was there was for CJ's bachelorette party, and that's been well documented in another episode.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, pretty much all of my well, yeah, pretty much all my stories are downtown related, but there is one that's not downtown related. So on it was on me and husband Chris's honeymoon. We uh we went out and stayed a few days at a lake house just here nearby. We didn't go anywhere crazy. And so we were at the Jack Daniel's distillery doing the tour, and we got the like the big fancy tour where you do like the tasting with the high dollar, like the Frank Sinatra Jack and all the fancy, $200 bottles. And they take you to the burial site of Jack Daniels. They take you to Miss Mary Bobo's boarding house for lunch, which was literally the best meal I've ever had in my life. If you ever have a chance to go, you should definitely do it. So it's the same group throughout the whole day, and they take you to all these different places. So we're on this bus, and we're talking to this couple, and they are from Perth, Australia, and apparently, I guess it's like customary over there for people to go on vacation for like weeks and weeks and weeks at a time, because they were on their sixth straight week of vacation. She was like,
Damn.
yeah, we flew to LAX and we rented a car and we've just driven all across. I mean, they went to literally every state. Like, she named off every state between here and California. And they were going to stop, like, their ending state was Maine, and then they were flying back home. Like, they were literally hitting all the states.
Dude, that's intense because I live here and I can't even name all the states between California and here.
I know. I was like, dude, are you like a fucking geography teacher or something? Like,
Right? Like, I'm
it was
pretty sure there's Montana, but other than that, I'm not sure.
right. So we were riding on the little charter bus from the distillery to the restaurant, and everybody was like getting hyped up about the food because like even the people from out of state knew like this is like gonna be an impeccable meal. Like, it's gonna be the best like southern down home cooking you've ever had, and everybody raves about their fried okra. And that's what I kept reading when I was reading the reviews and everything. Everybody was like, oh my god, you'll never taste fried okra better than this place. And so everybody was getting hyped about the okra. And so the girl and the guy from Australia, they kept like looking at each other weird, and they finally like she like leaned into me and said it, like she almost whispered. She was like, what's fried okra? I was like, I'm sorry, what did you just say?
You gonna learn today.
What kind of blasphemous words did just came out of your mouth? And I said, it's okra, but deep fried. And she said, what's okra? Oh, I'm like, just go back home. Just fucking go back home. There ain't no hope for you. I
Well,
was like,
maybe they don't have okra there.
just try it. It's going to change your life. You're going to have a life altering experience in this restaurant. Just try it. And they literally, like, once they got it on their plates, they had like 6 helpings. I mean,
Nice.
because we sat next to him at the restaurant, because it's all family style. It's like this massive table. There's like 30 people at this table, and so we sat next to him. And I was like, when they passed the okra around, I was like, here, just set this down right next to you, because you're gonna want more. Trust me. But I was
Wow.
just like blown away that they didn't know what okra was. But they did know what Jack Daniels was. They were like, yeah, oh my God, everybody loves it back home. That's all we ever drink. And so, like, we definitely wanted to come see where it's made and everything. And I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. So, yeah, all the way from Perth, Australia, just to go to Jack Daniels.
Get some
So,
okra.
right. And some okra. That's important too. Um, so me and our other friend who will not be named, not Marinara, but the other one.
Yeah.
We went to uh, we went downtown and stayed at a hotel for her birthday a couple of months ago, and it had the hotel had a shuttle because we were like near the airport. It had a shuttle to the airport. And so I just like happened to ask the front desk, and I figured they'd say no, but I was like, do you guys happen to have a shuttle downtown? And she's like, oh yeah, it's like $5 a person round trip. I was like, holy fuck, that's a steal. Like,
Yeah,
if
you
you
can't get an Uber for that.
know, like, because the airport is like a good probably 8 or 9 miles from downtown. Like, you cannot get an Uber for $5 round trip. It's just not going to happen. And so we got on this bus, and it was like a kind of a shared bus. So it like picked us up at our hotel, and then it went to like two other hotels to get people and took us all downtown, and then brought us back. But so we get on this bus, and there's these older ladies, and I can't remember where they were from, but they were from somewhere far away, and they were all like, getting as hyped as old ladies can get. They're like, yeah, man, we're ready. It's gonna be awesome, and everything. And so the bus driver they were about to let us out at the stop, and they were explaining like the bus runs every 30 minutes. So whenever you're ready to come back, it's every half hour the bus comes to this stop. Just stand at the stop, and we'll come pick you up and take you back to your hotel. And and of course, me and my friend were already drinking. We're already pretty drunk because this awesome hotel that we stayed at had a complimentary reception in the lobby every night from 6 to 8 with free unlimited drinks. So,
Wow.
yeah. So we are like, dude, these people are about to lose some money on us. I don't care that we paid $300 a night for this room. They're going to lose money still because you give me an open bar for 2 hours and it's unlimited and free. Like,
Challenge accepted.
yes, exactly. Challenge accepted. So we're already kind of drunk, and so this old lady, she goes, so we just stand on a corner and get picked up, and like, I was all drunk. I was like, oh yeah, you'll get picked up all right. And
Yeah,
she was
depending on
like,
what corner,
I know. I was like, be careful of what corner you stand on.
right?
But she just looked at me like, oh my god, because I was pretty drunk. So
The
there was
nerve.
that. Right, I know. So so probably what, a month ago, my cousin and his girlfriend and his two best friends came down to visit from Michigan, and they were like, he just turned 21, so he's like, dude, I want to throw down. Like, I want to get booked up. And so I was like, all right, challenge accepted. Let's go. And so again, I'm cheap. So I drove to my work in Franklin, and then we parked at my work, and then we were going to Uber from Franklin to Nashville because it's like a 15-minute drive, as opposed to trying to get an Uber to come all the way out to Chapel Hill because that's just not going to happen.
Yeah, that you
So,
don't want to pay 38 bucks for parking.
yeah, that too. So, I did, let's see, there was, yeah, four of them and one of me. So five of us total plus the Uber driver. So I ordered a regular Uber because I'm like, okay, it's a 15-minute drive. Like, you know, four of us can sit in a back seat of a Camry for 15 minutes. It's fine. So we order this Uber. We're sitting there for like 15 minutes waiting on him to get there. He gets there. His name was Mio, like the little
Little
flavor
squirt.
drops. Yeah, the little squirt drops that you put in your drink. So
Nice.
Mio pulls up in his Camry, and he's counting. I can see he's like looking and counting us. And he was like, how many of you are there? I was like, well, we're standing right in front of you, and you just counted us. So I'm going to go ahead and say there's five of us. But whatever. Yeah, there's five of us. And so he was like, oh no, I can't take you. And he straight up rolled up his window and drove the fuck off.
All right.
Just literally left us right there
Access denied.
standing on the side of the road, just fucking left. I was like, all right, well, I've been raving to everybody about Southern hospitality. I mean, these people are from Michigan. Two of them, I don't think, had ever been to Tennessee before in their lives. And so, yeah, I was like, so don't let this tarnish your image of my
Just
state
say, you can
because
pull pull off the like guy that lost his heart on. Like this never happens.
Yeah, like I mean, clearly that Uber driver is not from here. So don't let that don't let that be what you take from this. Let's try
Yeah, most
again.
of them aren't.
Yeah. So we tried again and we had to spring for the Uber X. So then we get this lady that pulls up in fucking Escalade. And so, yeah, we rode in style, but we paid for it. It was a little
Yep.
expensive. But, anyways, so we all went downtown, like, had a fucking great time. And my cousin that had just turned 21, he was the one that was really like, I want to get crazy. Like, this is vacation for us. Like, I just turned 21. I'm going to have a great time. And so he's well on his way. Like, I could tell. I was like, oh, this might be a rough night. I should probably stop while I'm ahead so I can take care of him.
Yep.
So we're down there. And I mean, I didn't even think of this either, but he was wearing basketball shorts. And there were like several places that would not let him in because he was wearing basketball shorts. Like, have you ever heard of that?
No.
Yeah, I did not know
However,
that was a thing.
I do want to let you know that reading your notes today, instead of gym shorts, it auto-corrected to gum shorts. And I was trying to figure out if you accidentally meant cum shorts. So I didn't know if there was some sort of story where he jizzed in his pants and they saw it and they wouldn't let it in. But I'm glad to know it was just gym shorts.
Oh my god. You're right. It does say gum shorts.
Of course I'm right.
Wow.
Yeah, I was going to ask you what the hell gum shorts were.
Well, now I feel like I should change the story because that's a lot funnier.
Right? So he accidentally jizzed in his pants and it came out the leg and it got on the pants and then they saw it and they were like, I'm sorry, sir, no ejaculoid in our office.
In our office?
Whatever. Bar, club.
Well, I guess if you're a bouncer, that is your office. Like,
I
this is my
guess.
place of business, sir. We can't have any of that here.
Exactly. That is generally frowned upon in this establishment.
So, I don't know how, but somehow we got separated from his friend and we tried calling him and he answered and he said something about he had been kicked out of one of the bars and I was like, oh my god, he got kicked out. So we finally found him. We're like run across the street to him. We're like, oh my god, we thought we lost you forever. What bar did you get kicked out of? And he was like, what? I didn't get kicked out of a bar. I was like, we literally just talked to you on the phone like 5 minutes ago. You said you were kicked out of a bar. And he was like, I didn't say that.
What?
Like his memory got erased. Like he had no recollection.
Did you guys call someone else?
I don't know. We could have. I don't know. We were drunk.
Because imagine answering your phone in the middle of the night when you're completely smashed, not even knowing who's calling and just telling someone you got kicked out of a bar. I could see it happening.
Right. So, anyways, it comes time to leave, and if you're familiar with the way Nashville and Uber works, there's like in the very center of the city where all of the bars and the main attractions are and the nightclubs. If you try to request an Uber down there during like right when the bars close, it's like surge time. Like you're gonna pay like 3 or 4 times the amount that you would normally pay. And so if you get out of the surge area, it gets cheaper. And so we walked, I don't know, we probably walked like 7 blocks out of the surge area. And it did go down, like, because we were, I think on the way in at like 7:30, 8 o'clock from Franklin to Nashville, we paid like $21. And then on the way back, it was saying like $67 to go 15 miles. I was like, fuck it, I'll walk, dude. I don't even care. I'll take my shoes and I will walk up 65. Bet.
Right. So, burn those calories.
Right. So we walked 7 blocks out of the center of the city, out of the surge area, and it went down like $20. And I was like, I don't know. I just feel like we can do better than this. So I called like an old-fashioned, like actual cab company, and they said it was even $10 cheaper than that. So I was like, sold, come get us. And I told them what corner we were standing on, and I'm looking at my cousin, and he is getting rough. Like he is laying on the sidewalk. He's doing that. You know, like you're just like randomly talking that And then you try to
Oh,
like maintain and like pretend like everything's normal, but
oh
just
no.
just heaving and heaving. I was like, dude, you got to hold it together. You got to either barf now or wait till we get out of this cab, because I don't know if he knew that we were drunk, or if he just like after a certain point every night just tells this to everybody. He said flat out, like when I was on the phone with him booking the cab, he was like, it is a $500 charge if anyone barfs in the cab. Like
Wow.
$500. I was like, dude, I'm gonna need you to just wrap it up. Like keep it together,
Mm-hmm.
because I cannot pay $500. I like just gave this dude my card information. I cannot pay $500 for you to barf in this cab. Like, I don't care if you got to swallow it, barf
Yep.
and take off your gym shorts and barf into them. I don't care. Just do not barf in this cab. so so the cab comes and gets us, and he's driving us to Franklin. And I mean, the whole way, you could just hear him in the back just whoop, whoop. I was like, please don't do it. Please don't do it. Like, roll the window down. I don't care what you have to do. And so we get to my work where the car is, and I was going to drive us home. And so he gets out, and we are literally in the parking lot of my job, like my office. He literally face plants right there in the grass and starts blowing junks right there in
Oh
the
no.
grass. Face down. I'll give you the picture of it so you can put it.
Well, now those vultures have something to eat.
I know, right? They were back the very next day.
Ugh.
So he's sitting there barfing. The cab driver he like literally like takes his seatbelt off, gets out of the vehicle, opens up the back seat, pulls out a flashlight, and starts inspecting the back seat to make sure.
Wow.
And it was like really super fucking hot that night. And I guess he was sweating. So like the seat where he was sitting, I guess butt sweat was on the seat and it was kind of wet. And he was like, "What's this? What is this?" And he was wearing long sleeves. He pulled his sleeve over his finger and like drug it across the sweat. He was like, "What is this?" I was like, "Dude, calm down. It's just butt sweat. You are not charging me $500 for butt
For
sweat.
butt sweat.
You said puke, not butt sweat. Those are two different things, two different orifices. That is butt sweat. I need you to get back in your vehicle and leave, because I have to I have to pick my cousin up out of his own vomit and get him home."
Right. I wonder how much he would charge if it was butt vomit.
Gross. Oh my god. So excuse me. So the cab driver leaves, I go over there. Everybody's like, trying to keep him from literally like just falling back down into his vomit. And, and he's like, he just got done barfing again, and he goes, "Nashville 1, Jake 0."
Nice.
I was like, yeah, that sounds about right. So we brought him home. His girlfriend put him in the bath and just let him sit there for like ever.
Let him
And
marinate.
yeah, yeah. And oh yeah, and then when we got him in the car and we are driving from my work back home, he's like, right as we're turning off of Royal Oaks left onto 96, like in the middle of that turn, he puts his head out the window and barfs through that entire intersection, all down the
Nice.
side of the car. So I also have a picture of him hosing off the car the next morning because there was dried vomit all over the side of
Oh,
it.
gross. At
Yeah.
least he wasn't in the front seat with the window down in the back and it just doing that loop right back
Oh,
into the back seat.
oh, that's disgusting.
Yeah. God, imagine being asleep in the back seat and then just suddenly getting smacked in the face by puke.
Nope, that's nasty. So the next day we went kayaking on the same river where the crazy New Jersey Shore girls were, and so Jake's girlfriend, she was drinking. She got pretty drunk, And so after we were packing, we went to, we were coming back home and we stopped at Sonic. And I mean, it was super, super fucking hot. I swear they came down here on like the hottest weekend ever. It was like 1,000,000 degrees. We were literally on the surface of the sun. And we're sitting at, we had just placed our order. We're sitting at Sonic and she rolls the window down. She's like hanging out the back of the window and she's yelling at one of the car hops. And she was like, "Do y'all have a shower here?"
Wow.
Like, dead serious. Like, I will get out of this car and use your shower if you have one. So, yeah, they had a good weekend. It
It
was
sounds that way.
successful. It was definitely successful. So
Nice.
those are my stories about tourists in Nashville.
You know what else is successful?
What?
You, if you've ever thought of hosting your own podcast. When CJ and I were trying to get this podcast off the ground, I had a ton of questions. How do I record an episode? How do I get my show into all the apps that people like to listen to? How do I make money from my podcast? The answer to every single one of these questions is really simple. Anchor. Anchor is a one-stop shop for recording, hosting, and distributing your podcast. Best of all, it is 100% free and ridiculously easy to use. And now Anchor can match you with great sponsors who want to advertise on your podcast. That means you can get paid to podcast right away. In fact, that's what I'm doing right now by reading this ad. We use Anchor because we live over an hour away and it brings us together as if we're in the same room. The sound quality is better than Skype and a lot more reliable too. So if you've always wanted to start a podcast and make money doing it, go to anchor.fm/start. That's anchor.fm/start to join us. Join us and the diverse community of podcasters already using Anchor. Again, that's anchor.fm/start. We can't wait to hear your podcast. And we also want to hear from you if you have any of your own stories to add on. Again, you can always find us at our Facebook page, our website. You can hear us on iTunes, of course, Anchor, and Spotify. Nope, just kidding. We're not on Spotify. We're on SoundCloud. Just kidding. You can pretty much find your way around any of our social media just by starting at Facebook and going from there. We have
Yes.
everything posted. Um, so that's pretty much that. This episode, what did we learn? CJ, what did you learn?
I learned that it's been way too fucking long since you went to Nashville to karaoke, so we should do that very soon.
About that? I learned that what was it? Nashville 1, cousin 0.
Yes.
That is what we learned. Next week, who knows? We sure
I
as hell don't.
literally have no idea. It's a crapshoot. It could be anything.
It
I mean,
is
I'm just like
so.
looking at our list of ideas. I mean, we've got a lot of we have a lot of topics or a lot of talking points on balls.
Yeah, I was just looking at that. An episode about balls is something that's listed here. When we're
Yeah,
old, misheard lyrics, autocorrect fails,
shit stories,
a lot of shit stories, of course.
things
I don't
we've
know who
said when we're
Ruby the pig
drunk.
is.
Oh, you'll know when I start telling the story.
Yeah,
I
also, um, I have picked up a gig doing trivia on Monday nights. So I will eventually have a lot of stories to go with trivia. Like I will save this. Maybe that's what we can do next time because we have the story of how we started doing trivia with another friend that we're not friends with anymore and her brother ran the trivia thing.
yeah,
So about, the special way that we dressed for that. So maybe that'll be a topic, who knows? Cuz I've already got a couple of them from this new gig that like just happened last week that are still fresh. So that'll be fun. So there you go. You just witnessed like the inner workings of our show. We just decided something on the slide. This is how
yeah,
that happens.
sweet.
Yeah. Be Consider yourself lucky.
Right?
There you go. Well, so I think that is our show for the week. Questions, comments, reach out to us on social media. We're not like super gone to our head celebrities yet, so we'll respond. We'll do a
Yet.
shout out. We will read your comments on our podcast. We will read hate mail. We will read love mail, which is not something we've ever gotten, but fan mail, I think is the word, not love mail. I think that's like sexting. Please don't sext us.
Yeah.
I mean, we
I mean,
love you all,
it
but
could be funny, but it's also kind of creepy. So,
our significant others probably wouldn't approve of an episode of us reading y'all's thirst texts,
right.
although we would find it highly amusing. Okay, so I think that is pretty much it.
Yes.
Remember, always say yes to adventures because they become. Wait, is that right? Wait, no, hang on. Okay, I swear I changed my medication. This will be getting better. Always say yes to adventures because they become stories, and in the end, that is all we are. Good night.
Peace.
This concludes our broadcast day. Good night, and God bless America.